everyone. It looks like you're settled. You have your lunch. Open anything you need to open right now before the keynote starts to speak. But you'll actually there's a final evaluation on the back, so we don't want you to fill out your evaluation. We don't want you to turn it in until the keynote's completed. And after that, then we'll have the prizes. So without further ado, let me introduce Mary Beth Youse. Come on up. And give her a... Mary Beth is our Instructional Technology Project Specialist. I have the good fortune of knowing Mary Beth for years and years and years. When I first started teaching third grade at Lancashire Elementary School, Mary Beth was the lead technology teacher for the building. In addition to making practically the whole place run, she would teach the teachers how to use technology as well as the students. And so she's actually one of my first teachers. So when we had I begged her for years, please, please come to Wilmington University. Finally got her. Best thing that ever happened to us. And so you're in for a great treat. So without further ado, tech tools with a purpose, right tool, right touch.
Thank you. I will start out with a video that our department created. So that's a little bit about our day today and a little bit about what we're about with the Ed Tech department here at Wilmington University. We offer so many of those technology tools and the training, the Smartboard. Many of you were engaged with our classroom technologist, Dean Davis. We also have some of the role that you saw was Barb Danley, Instructional Technologist, and Adam Voighton, Instructional Technologist here at Wilmington University. So let me grab where I need to be and begin. So an overview of today, and we're just going to go over the sessions today of this chart here at on this slide. Many of the things you experience today are important ways in which to engage your classroom using technology. We had a repeat of one workshop, so actually there were 12 sessions today. And I know you had your favorites, and there's reasons why things were more meaningful to you. So as we come back and look at some of these things that were mentioned within the sessions today, I'll try to repeat and review some of those session events and some of the topics that we covered. So every job requires a tool. Just as a skilled craftsman gets use of their tools, they don't start building a house right away. They have to know how to use that tool in which to work. You also have to learn how to use the tools that we provide for you here at Wilmington University. The tools that we use, we have to go into our toolbox, and this little gadget here, I know you have a gadget in your gift bag today, in your grocery tote that you received this morning. So we're trying to align some of these tech things together. So some of the tools that you need to touch are communication tools. Some of the tools are information tools from the library. Some of those are e-learning tools. How can you work in Blackboard? And of course, web pages. Some web pages are tools. Some of the multimedia tools that we need to touch and learn. All this takes time. So we need to become fluent in our technology skills. And through that fluency, you can just grab what you need. And you probably think, I don't even know how to use it. How am I going to know how or how to use it? I'm not sure what to use. So you have to do a lot of, take a lot of opportunities that we provide and see how you can grow as an instructor here at Wilmington University. So tools do have a specific purpose. You'll see here we have all our Blackboard tools under Control Panel course tools. You'll also see some tools out there on the web that support some taxonomy of the Bloom's Revised Digital Taxonomy here. That was also mentioned in one of our sessions today. When you look at a tool, you look at the purpose of the tool. And you get to learn that tool. So to use a tool, used incorrectly, you can have big problems. What are some of those big problems that I can address and talk about with you? Grade Center. I can't tell you enough how to be careful in Grade Center. And I see it more than enough. And nobody in here does this, I hope. Probably not. But it does happen. What people are doing in Grade Center, they're hiding columns. When you go to Manage tab, Column Organization, you're hiding a column. That column has points associated. Those points are associated in talking to your weighted total or your total column. Just because you're hiding it doesn't mean it's hidden from the student's view. It is not. All you're doing is hiding it from that center of your grade center, your view. There's other ways in which to handle and manipulate those grade columns correctly. You have to learn to use Grade Center correctly in which to make it correct in totaling your assignment scores. So just caveat, think about how you're using Grade Center and try not to do the hide column on the back end. If you don't check off your rubric scores to allow students to see the rubric, how are they going to know the criteria? You have to allow and know those little best practice buttons that are the tools in the course on how to use rubrics to make sure you're using rubrics effectively for your students. Your students need to see, if you're using rubrics on any assignment, your students need to see that rubric, and they also need to see the grade of after you have graded their rubric. So there is an actual button. It's defaulted, it's turned off as no. And if you take our workshop, you'll understand that we reinforce, make sure that you check, yes, you want to show the rubric scores with grading. So that's learning how to use a tool correctly. Another thing that you may have to consider, some of our online crowd does this, that they, and actually some face-to-face people do too. They will do date restrictions and use date restrictions in their Blackboard course. And if you use date restrictions incorrectly, your students will not see the material or the content. So learn how to use those date restrictions. If you're using a date restriction, make sure you make it available yes. And then choose your calendar date and your calendar time to open or close. So that's a big thing that you have to remember. And feedback, providing feedback to students. I had one instructor, she said, oh, when you go to grade an assignment in the Grade Center and you're grading that assignment, you have two boxes. You have a feedback to student. You also have an instructor note box. Make sure you put anything to student in the feedback to student box. They need to see. Instructor notes don't mean that they're seeing your notes. That's just your area in which to guide you into reason why you gave them the grade you did. So that particular tool is very important, the feedback box. Another tool that we offer is the faculty menu option, faculty contact menu option on the course menu. Make sure you use that tool. How are your students going to know how to contact you if you don't give them contact information? How many places can you give them? Well, plenty. You can add it in your announcements. You can add it of course, in the course outline and schedule in the template. Make sure you put that in there correctly, faculty contact information. Not everybody needs to enter their cell phone information. If you would just like to be looking at preferred contact as email, use that. But make sure that they have that and you check that periodically. That is a wonderful tool to remember to use correctly. And also the show and hide on the course menu. If you get a course, sometimes the assignment and the discussion board menu items are hidden, and you'll see a little square icon with a slash through it. Make sure you know to open that up. I can't tell you how many times we've had students call and say, I can't see my assignments. And they will call the help desk, and it'll come down to our level, and we'll look into the course and we'll figure it out. And fortunately, it's an easy fix. The instructor forgot to open the course menu item for the student. So that is so important, is to have your content available for your students. So when you use these tools successfully, you will have student success. It's very important that we look out for our students to succeed. It's very important that we grade promptly so that they can move through that 7-week or the 15-week block or semester. So I recently looked at a blog, and this gentleman, Brian Wasson, did a session for his university, maybe it was a community college, and he mentioned that using technology tools for PowerPoint are very important, which to learn, because much of what we do is presentation when we get up here at the podium. So he said, you know, to a certain point, we have our instructors, they have these questions. Why am I including tech into my course? What should I do to create a more meaningful experience? So in his presentation, he shared how to add more images in a PowerPoint, how to deliver more content in a PowerPoint, how to narrate PowerPoint and everything. And he said eventually you can have, and it doesn't come overnight, but you can have that experience where you're learning that technology of PowerPoint, simple as it is. There's a lot of buttons there, a lot of buttons in which to click and know what to do with inserting an image, inserting and changing image sizes and so on. But once you know that, you can take out the why and the what. And this is what you need to realize, and this is our interactive. I want you to say, I want you to be able to read this slide and mean it. So let's read it together. I am including technology in my courses, and I will create a more meaningful experience for my students. This is very important in which to think of our students. Learn what you can. You could take it up another level. First, you have to touch the tool in which to learn, and then you can share that and have your students also produce assignments using these tools as well. But you really wouldn't want to assign a student maybe a Prezi or a PowerPoint unless you knew Prezi or PowerPoint yourself. I mean, make yourself knowledgeable first and then share some of these tools with your students in the classroom. I say use what you have. We have an LMS, that means Learning Management System. We have a wonderful learning management system called Blackboard. Inside Blackboard, we have our Grade Center. It might be coming, you might be getting an email in the very near future that, and I'm not sure if it's a done deal, but we would like to promote it as such, that everyone in the university has to use Grade Center. It is an important thing in which to give our students. They are our paying customers. We have to have that knowledge on how to use Grade Center in which to give them that prompt feedback, the prompt scores, calculated correctly scores. We just need to have, that's probably the best tool. If you walk out of here and say, what do I really need to learn walking out this door? Grade Center. Get yourself into one of our workshops and learn Grade Center, because we owe it to our students in which to give that feedback. There are interactive tools here in Blackboard. We have interactive tools means you're working with someone else. You can do that with blogs, wikis, journals, awesome voice tools here. Rubrics tool, fantastic tool in which to grade. Safe assigned voice tools, and also we have films on demand, and I'll get to another slide about that later. And our library resources, that these are the tools in which we have in easy reach. Use what you have. We have Blackboard. It's our learning management system. It has our students in there. We can put our content in Blackboard, grading in Blackboard. You can have your assignments. If you teach face-to-face and you hand out your assignments every day in your lecture, consider adding assignments spots for students in which to return work back to you. Our students are, most of our students work full-time. They live busy lives as well as we, and we need to have our students have an opportunity in which to return those assignments digitally. So get used to using the assignment feature in Blackboard in which to get assignments back. Just have it there anyway. Even if they give it the papers and their week 5 papers back to you face-to-face, you'll have them. The column, as soon as you make that assignment area in Blackboard, you'll have that column in Grade Center, and you can go ahead and use that column if for not anything but grading, so it'll be there. And for anyone who, for any of your students who have a personal emergency and they can't come to class that night, and the file's too large to email, then that spot in Blackboard is the best spot and the best practice in which to handle assignments. Tools to manage information. The main tool that we touch as soon as you get hired is Web Campus. You learn your Web Campus login, your credentials. You log into Web Campus. You're going to see announcements on that Web Campus page. In that Web Campus page, you will see your roster. You can print out rosters for yourself. You will see an area for Blackboard. You'll see a button for email. How many people use email? Wilmington University email. Now, a lot of instructors ask me, do I have to use Wilmington University email? No, you don't have to. I do recommend it to keep your professional, private, and your other jobs separate from your Wilmington University email. If you use email, make sure you check it often. Sometimes we send some things out and we share our newsletters that way in the email for faculty. We share online instructor email for faculty as well and check your email. You can also make sure that you check your email often. And you can organize your email. Learn how to organize your email into folders. And anything you need to save, just save. If you have 500 things in your inbox, come and see us. We will help you organize your email. And you need to and that's just part of using the tool properly, you need to think about making your life simpler, clean up, do some spring cleaning, clean up that inbox. So learn how to manage information here, use the tools that are there. And here I have, on the internet, we have a wonderful library database that we'll talk about here in a minute. I also advocate use free. Many of the sessions that we had some sessions today, and they mentioned some Web 2.0 tools. Web 2.0 tools are tools in which you can use and interact, and use free when you can. Many of the tools here on this list, come and see us. We have faculty training for many of these tools on this list. So use free when you can. This is the Digital Bloom's Taxonomy pyramid. And when you look at this pyramid, you look at how students learn, the levels in which learning process can take place. This is one way in which to look. I have the next slide. We'll change it up a bit. But what's going to fly in here are ideas, 1 or 2 ideas per line. So what technology tool would we use for remembering? I recommend journals. I recommend flashcards built in Quizlet.com. Journals. Why journals? There is a tool in Blackboard for journals. Well, why would you want to use journals? Journals is a spot for thinking. You're directly between you and your instructor. You're journaling what you've learned that day. Actually, I've had the first person that used a journal was one of our nurses, and she said there's so much that they have to learn in a week. I want them to journal what they learned. So that in the process of journaling is the learning of typing it out, rewriting it, having it embedded within their brain. So they've not only read it, they've now turned it around and they've typed it. So journaling, and I'm going to actually show you a Quizlet sample here in a minute. Understanding. Understanding, what tool would I recommend? I like concept mapping tools. One in which I purposely put here is bubble.us. What it can do for you, or what it can do for a student's assignment, is they map it out. Really nice tool in which to learn the big picture and map it out. Applying. How do you apply what you learned? Well, you can share that in your discussion boards and wikis and blogs. That's a Blackboard tool. Analyzing. Excel, you can gather data in Excel. There is another tool very similar to bubble.us. It's cuckoo.com. Cuckoo, what it will do, it will build hierarchy, it will build concept mapping, flowcharts, and it provides collaboration within that Web 2.0 tool. Collaboration, that means that students can build projects and build their own flowcharts, especially for our graduate level students. If they wanted to collaborate on a group assignment, they can go in there and do a flowchart and build businesses or whatever they need to build. Wufoo, it's a it's a form you build in Wufoo. You collect your data and you can analyze your data later. So Wufoo is a great free tool in which to use. Evaluating. Well, you can think about this two ways. Evaluating yourself, I recommend SafeAssign. What does SafeAssign do? It allows an instructor. Let me back up. Our main goal for SafeAssign is for our students to use this as a learning opportunity to get a report on their paper. They submit a paper and it's going to get matched against some databases for text matching. So it really is meant here from our university level as a learning tool. It also allows the instructor to have a tool to investigate further suspicious paper. They do come across our desk, and you have that opportunity to do a direct submit in SafeAssign. Also, you can evaluate using rubrics, evaluating criteria of assignments using rubrics, and then again our collaborative environment, our Collaborate environment, you can use in which to evaluate content. And lastly, one little sample here for the top of the chart is what tools would you use in which to get students to create or you create yourself. We recommend, of course, PowerPoint, where most of us are more familiar or most familiar in PowerPoint. We have Prezis, and of course there is that fun one. It's a digital storytelling tool. It's called Animoto, and I'll have a slide later about that. This is looking back. If you look back at this is the pyramid. What does this remind you of? Reminds me of the food chart, the pyramid food chart. When I come here on the revised Bloom's taxonomy, I'm looking now at the plate. And I'm now looking at the interaction of how some of these ways in which to learn are interrelated. And it is from Kathy Schrock, 2012. She says, the interlocking of the cognitive process. As one encounters new content, the ability to move among the cognitive levels as needed is important into the acquisition of knowledge. The creating process involves all aspects of all levels of learning. So you have, if you're learning how to remember some content, maybe you're going to use a flashcard tool. How are they going to remember the content for flashcards and the terminology in order to create an end product? So it is. I love this is a more meaningful way in which to look at digital taxonomy and using ways of moderating posting. There's all kinds of tools in which to get this done, how to apply knowledge, how to analyze, and lastly, creating what you know. Here is some information I read recently. It was in a journal article. It's called The Journal, March 2013 article. This is a journal article written by Mark Edwards. He talks about 6 key drivers to student engagement. And he says the best way to drive student engagement is to meaningfully connect with students. And the best way to do that is through technology, believe it or not. Our students now are digital natives, as most of our students are. We do have some different populations of students, different age groups, but most of our students, and actually in one of our sessions today, we had to pull out a technology tool in our pocket, and we all pulled out our phones. But our students are familiar with technology. They have grown up with it. They've had it at maybe their high school or their junior college, and now they're here at Wilmington University. They play with technology. They use technology in many ways. But how do you make instruction relevant? This is the first key in his article. Use digital resources. We connect with the real world digitally. YouTube is out there. I think we've seen every YouTube opportunity that you want to see in life. You can see it on YouTube. Use multimedia. We have an opportunity here in our ed tech department. We have Russ Lichterman is our multimedia specialist. We can help you use multimedia. We can help you create videos and create important multimedia in your course. Also recommend using some games. You can game it up. Ways in which you can game it up. One of my favorites, you don't have to use PowerPoint, but you can use it right on the web. It's called JeopardyLabs.com. Don't have a sample today to show you. I'm just going to let you know that you can build a Jeopardy game, and you can have teams if you want to show it in your classroom, you can have teams or just have the whole class play under one team. But you can build Jeopardy game with your content. How to personalize instruction. Personalized instruction. Do you deliver more than just lecture? Think about that. I hope so. I hope you think about delivering more than just lecture. You have to think of your audience as well. Look at your students' learning style. Most of us are visual learners. So what are you going to do? You're going to use PowerPoint, Prezi. Some of us are auditory learners. Perhaps you can have some audio files in your class. I'm not saying that every person is one or the other. Most of us are a multitude of learning styles in which how we learn more easily. Video, of course, add some YouTube video. We have a mashup tool, YouTube mashup tool in Blackboard. And engagement through clickers. We've had a session here about clickers today. So these are ways to personalize instruction for your students. And then as you teach, you also have to think about their assignments and make sure you add a variety of assignments for your students. Have them create a PowerPoint. Have them create presentations. Have them create a glog. What's a glog? A glog is from Glogster. There's an educational site for Glogster. It is a multimedia poster. Students can add images. They can add sound. They can embed video within that Glogster. Have your students create a podcast. Have your students create or answer to a voice board. We have voice board in Blackboard. Do all the other use all the interactive tools that we provide in Blackboard to provide that assignment variety. Provide personal communication. I think that's one of the things that we have to realize is to have weekly course announcements. Not just welcome to this class and then no more announcements there in Blackboard. What you want to do, I'm just going to pan out of here a minute. This is a sample of this is my particular course that I teach undergrad students. So what I do, even before the course begins, this was a course that started Block 2. And I'm talking to them as soon as I get my course. I'm telling them what they need. I'm putting in some images. This was at Christmas. I didn't see these students until, the end of February? So get to your students quickly. Let them know your course outline and schedule has been posted. Let them know about a room assignment if you're face-to-face or hybrid. Add some great things about week 1. Continue on. If you're canceling class, let them know that in your announcements. Sharing videos to watch. Here's a video I created about course expectations. I had them watch this video and answer a 5-point extra credit if they watch the video, and there was a question about that video. Week 1 reminders. Again, I'm not out of week 1 yet. I've been communicating. Also, week 2 assignments. Week 2 Prezi accounts. Week 3. Week 3. They were busy in week 3. I changed locations. I let them know that in my announcements and so on. Look what's going on here. Communication, hyperlinks, images. We've got a great way in which to communicate with our students. It doesn't have to be all text. We can teach you how to use and grab images. We can teach you how to get copyright-free images in which to use. So, and also make sure that you let your students know at the end of the block that your grades are now posted, and then wish them the best success. So, to communicate with students is very important, and to do so is equally through that weekly course announcement. Email, again, reiterate email to your student. You can email your students using the email tool in Blackboard. You can also email your students using the Grade Center. There's a tool there when you toggle on their name. You don't have to leave Grade Center. You can use that email button right in Grade Center. Plenty of voice tools. I know Adam did a session today about using voice tools in your classroom. And video tutorials. Video tutorials. This is a video tutorial that one teacher created. She had a welcome back. Hope everyone had a wonderful summer. What she did, she recorded it and she transcribed it in text and offered it there in text as well. So you can do that. I'm on this slide now about screencasting video tutorials, and in this slide we have some products that we promote. The free one is Jing. It offers a 5-minute screencast. You register for free. You learn how to screencast. Well, what is screencasting? Let me back up. Screencasting is taking a picture and video of your desktop. You can, if you know students are struggling in week 4, and you want to point something out in the course in week 4, and you know that they struggle every time. There's some point, you've made the directions as clear as possible, but you just want to show them some material or reiterate a web page that you're having there in Blackboard. But Jing is free. You capture your screen, you hit record button, and you start speaking in your microphone. There is another product from TechSmith, wonderful company. Great vendor that works with us, Snagit. Snagit is a great tool. It can also do screencasting, but Snagit does captures any image that you want to capture. So it can capture an image, and you can add some stamps on any of the images and build up an arrow. Maybe you want to put an arrow on an image and then put that image into your course. So you want to really point out something. So you can do that using this tool called Snagit. It is a low fee. It's a very low cost, and that is a good tool. And you can also video record using Snagit Screencast. A higher cost of tool from the same company, TechSmith, is Camtasia. Any Camtasia users in here? There might be a few. Camtasia takes you one step further into the tool of learning how to record and embed multimedia and having a finished product. And also we have workshops about Screencast-O-Matic. Screencast-O-Matic provides more time in screencasting. It gives you that 15 minutes of time in which to share your desktop and then record. You can share these tools in this image. You're going to see how do you share your tool, how do you share this? You can share it. You can have very many ways you can share, but the quick way is to just grab the hyperlink after you produce this video tutorial. You have a hyperlink on your clipboard. You can paste it in an email to a student. Maybe you want to go over a paper. You're looking at their paper and you have their paper up and you're scrolling through their paper and you're talking to them about their paper. You can do that and share this hyperlink of your screencast tutorial with your students. So those are some of the ways in which we can provide personal communication with our students. Voki is always fun. I don't have a Voki sample for you, but this particular avatar, I tried to make it look like me. You can get into the Voki and design a Voki to look like yourself, or you can take they have some edgy people and seasonal avatars, and they're always nice in which to communicate, share your personal information with yourself. In this particular Voki, I had a course announcement, giving them information in a Voki form. Collaboration, that's very important to drive student success, is to have your students collaborate. I'm pointing out right here quickly 3 Blackboard, 3 ways in which to collaborate. One is using the Blackboard Collaborate tool. Another is Blackboard Instant Messaging, and that's just a chat feature. And then Skype. Sometimes we resort to Skyping with students. If you're in an online course, you want to pull up a Skype and maybe have a virtual office hour on Skype. You certainly can, because Skype is free. You can Skype. You can download the Skype onto a mobile device, which is very nice. And you can also run it from a flash drive. You don't need to actually install it on a computer. You can actually run it off of a flash drive, but it does provide webcam and voice communication. I'm going to get deeply now into Collaborate. This is a very big, a big part of meeting our students. We are going to make this classroom menu item, a Collaborate menu item in our courses. It'll be turned off if you want to use it. You can learn how to create a session and create an area for your students to have collaborate virtual classrooms, office hours, web conferencing. You can host a session. If we're advertised, though, as an asynchronous class, you can't demand students show up for any synchronous sessions, but you sure can provide some virtual office hours for your students in that spot. What does Collaborate do? It allows you audio, it allows you video, it allows you a whiteboard, application sharing. You can share a PowerPoint. You can share content. There are advanced features in there. You can poll. You can put students in breakout rooms. You can have participant lists and so on. We can also archive a session. When we recorded we had 3 rooms today on the virtual track. Some of our sessions, we also had some attendees virtually. They couldn't make it with us, but they attended virtually. And you can host those archives somewhere in your course for people to grab and look at, maybe a virtual office hour, or maybe you wanted to cover something. You open up Blackboard Collaborate, and you don't use screencasting tools. You can use Blackboard Collaborate and show your desktop, archive it, and then begin talking. Show your PowerPoint. Maybe you have to review that PowerPoint to your students. In narration, you can narrate your PowerPoint in Blackboard, this tool, Blackboard Collaborate. Connect learning. Very important to find something to connect that learning. I do want to take you to this sample. This is a bubble.us. I'm not going to show you how to build one, but that is an example of bubble.us. That's a concept map. I can see many of our how to get students to have higher level thinking is to have them create this concept map. Many of our graduate students, and even our undergraduate students, can handle mapping and relationships of content and ideas. Blogs, wikis, journals, and discussion boards. I'm not going to touch anything on this slide other than to let you know that they all have a different purpose. And if you want to learn more about how to use this tool, please come and see the online learning or the EdTech team, and we can help you discover the right purpose for these interactive tools. The rubric tool, amazing. What I have to tell you, the bullet point provides interactive grading. It's a time saver tool. I love it, love it, love it. It'll cut your grading time in half. We have Animoto. That's a digital storytelling. You can build an instruction with digital storytelling. And of course, PowerPoint, Turning Point with PowerPoint. Clickers, wonderful tool to use. And this is just a clicker slide. Whoops, just show you what a clicker slide looks like. You build your slide and you can poll right on top of it and get your polling results. Number 5, drive student achievement with information literacy. We have the library as our biggest resource, and I don't utilize it enough in my course, and maybe you don't either, but I'm going to try to make amends to that. Use and research. This link, when you get into the library homepage, if you click Find Articles and More, that we have so much more there about using the library resources. Number 6, promote higher level thinking. We have to get our students up to a point where they are moving up to higher level thinking skills. We have to get to the point where we nurture, grow their perspective on content. So you have to give them different views in which to learn and help them realize today that things change constantly, that you have to just let them grow. So we have to strategize, put your courses together, make your course fit together. Use these tools to make it fit together. Provide that instruction. And then this little symbol here shows you can break things apart in smaller chunks. Don't consider doing a 20-minute or a 15-minute video. Maybe you want to make short 2 minutes and have short 2 minutes and break things down in smaller chunks. And then you let students walk away and with what they've learned. So you have to ask yourself, what do you use? What tools do I need to use? And what do I want to learn? Where do you go for help? This is our UIC University information number. If you're in dire need, this is the number to call. It's found on the web page. If you want to get a quick email, facultytraining@wilmu.edu. We monitor that on the EdTech side. If you need a quick email to the online side, it's onlinemanager@wilmu.edu. I've listed here, this slide will be, or this PowerPoint will be available for you on our TLT page, but I've listed our contact information of each one of our instructional technologists. Our mission, I'm just going to wrap it up. It is our mission to provide faculty and staff with effective professional development by offering training, resources, and support. We do provide that support. So what is on the roadmap? Let's look ahead. ROAR, Sally had mentioned that earlier, the repository of online academic resources. This is rubrics for instructors, maybe PowerPoint sharing for any files that we want to share with instructors. That will soon become available. Please make sure you look at your email for more information. ETC, Educational Technology with a Colleague. We've surveyed, or we've asked anybody interested about if they are interested in helping us teach workshops. And that will be, we're going to kick that off this summer. Our adjunct can teach workshops in our department, so we're going to kick that off very soon. Personalize your course, that's coming up. It's it's an online course that we're having. It's a design course that we'd like you to be considering after you complete HOT, what to do to personalize your course. So that's on the roadmap. I have permission to let you know about this product. Brian Beard from our IT, he's one of our directors from the IT department. He is allowing me to say that they will soon be offering an opportunity to purchase Microsoft Office 2013 for $10. We have a Blackboard upgrade this summer. We're going to kick that off in July. Training begins in July. Yes, we have a new Blackboard. Yes, it will look a little different. Blackboard Collaborate, we are kicking that off now. The old Collaborate room, WIMBA, will be closed down at the end of August. So please get your training now and learn how to use Blackboard Collaborate for web conferencing, online webinars, virtual classroom. And we have a Wild Wild Tech event coming up. I'd like to explain a little bit about our Wild Wild Tech event. We have plenty of workshops, Prezi for prospectors, Grade Center Gold Rush, Smartboard Saloon, Annie Get Your iPad, and so on we go. Safe Assigned Stagecoach, Rubric Tool Roundup. So we're really put our thinking caps on. Thank you, Sean, for coming up with that wonderful theme for us this year. Sean Gomes is our part-timer in the Ed Tech department. What are the dates? July 23rd at the Wilson Grad, we'll have a morning, lunch, and afternoon series of sessions. July 24th, we'll be down in Dover. We'll be doing morning series of sessions and also provide a nice lunch. July 25th, we'll be totally online. We'll have full day of online workshops that day, all day sessions, and that will be July 25th. So lastly, this is my last slide. What is our university's best tool? You are. Without you, our students wouldn't have a classroom in which to learn, but you have the content knowledge. You have the opportunity now that we can fill up your pockets with technology tools, fill up your training, get you to the point where I just started. I don't know what to do first and I don't know where to start. But we will get you to the point. We will support you along the way. We are dedicated to your professional development.